the Echo Slam, and they're just planning to wipe E home if possible. There it is. You can't stop Secret. It'll end on a good old 3-2-2 for game number 1. They go back in on DJ. Is he going to get it? He's going to try and find it. Rampage for the PL. The big black hole. Ball from Con with the stun follow-up. They've got him. Secret, you are getting wiped from this one. The Gosh will fly forward and Ramsey's afterlife. He goes to the back for the BKBs. It's the trigger. Ramsey's towards the black hole. Backed up. The black hole. Down. Down. The follow-up stun. They're going to lose everything. The Raptors of the universe tries to scrape off face. They're throwing out the penalty. Did Secret. Maybe they've got this. But no. Here comes the basket. He's found 2. He's found 3. 4 dead on the side of Empire. And Kingar is going to fall as well. On the back of the PL, Amy with the Sunstrike from the weekend. Oh, the Dragonrop! They can't see him. They can't attack him. Beastgrip actually dragging Kuro out of the black hole. He'll go down. The Fender is there. Shadow gets the fire into the Ravage. And the gun. Concoction stun. Can they find it? But DJ, it doesn't matter. Wings will take it.
Dota 2, one of the games that has been very prevalent in the scene for a couple of years now. Also for the ESL itself, right? All the big
Absolutely.
ESL ones, even happening in Manila, I think,
Yep.
which is insane. Like, hey, let's do a Dota tournament. Philippines.
Yeah, the concept of taking like what we do as ESL and throwing it in like a country so far away is pretty insane and obviously logistically hard to do. But
Yes, for
yeah,
sure.
it was really good to watch.
I think it's so cool that they, like, you could have done it in any country there, right? And obviously it's been happening in China, you know, Shenzhen, I think,
Yep.
always was IEM, and
Shenzhen.
a lot of other countries, of course. But taking it to the Philippines, to me, was even cooler, right? Because it's just like, hey, we're global. We can do this. This is esports. I really like the concept of that. Dota, of course, one of those games that everybody has at least heard of, right?
Yep.
Like, almost everybody's played a MOBA if you're a gamer, and it's either League of Legends or Dota, right?
Yeah.
Unless, I don't know, you're 2 years old and started with Heroes of the Storm. But
Well, yeah, well, I don't mind that for a bit of casual fun. But,
course.
yeah, no, I played Dota before I got into League of Legends, the original Dota, back when at the same time I was playing Unreal Tournament, I guess, and had no idea. I was a Juggernaut main, and that's all I did was like, he always spins around,
Spin
and
to
he
win.
has an Omni Slash where he just dodges around. I love that. So I used to build Aghanim Scepter on Juggernaut just so I got more slashes with my ultimate. So yeah, no, it's where I started, and I think a lot of people are very much split in two camps about it. But it's a game I wish honestly I was able to explore more.
it's a very deep game. We talked about this before the show, actually, that Dota is like a very, that goes very deep in terms of like
Right.
knowledge and in comparison to other games, especially.
Yep. I liken it to StarCraft actually, where like StarCraft
Yes.
with so much history, so many patches, and obviously build paths and how different armies or players sort of interact in their strategies. Do they cheese? Is it like a medivac drop in the backline or whatever, right? And Dota is the same because every hero at one point or another, I think the last major at the International, almost every hero was played or something ridiculous like
Wow,
that.
that's a
There
pretty
are
insane
so
stat,
many
yeah.
heroes in that game. So whereas League of Legends, you might see maybe 20 heroes that are sort of played with out of like
Yes.
125 or how much they got now. So that gives you so much opportunity to go deep, and there's good infrastructure in the game and the back end to take stuff out the API and say, here's your gold per minute, here's your wards per minute, and all this sort of stuff. So for an analyst, you can do so much with that. And a viewer, if you're interested in the game, you can be taken deeper and go deep yourself in your own inquiry about the game. It's super deep.
Absolutely agreed. Now, we've gotten into the game very deep already. This is what we're supposed to do after we start the fame counter. This is the concept of the show, right? The 20 minutes of fame for the influencer, which we will showcase in a bit with the Go Forecast of this weekend, but also the game itself. So we're going to start the 20 minutes right now, and going to have that timer run down for Dota itself. And I mean, the game itself is obviously 5v5, right? Because it's a MOBA, runs across the 3 lanes. Everybody knows how this works. So esports, everybody's heard of the International, at least, right? I mean, a huge event in comparison. What was the prize pool, I think, 2 years ago? Was it 60 million or something?
Yes, I mean, like,
what the hell?
EG got like 8 million or something like that. Like, it's ridiculous amounts of money.
There was a 16-year-old, I think.
Yes, a male.
Jesus Christ, man.
He's a millionaire. Like, and he, I believe, I don't want to misquote this, but I believe he was from Pakistan, so he wasn't even an American resident for so long. I think like he was a few years prior to that. I don't want to butcher the lore about this guy as well, but I believe that he was from a fairly tough backing in a very foreign country, and then came and now he's a millionaire in EG. So, or at least he was. I don't know if he's left the team, so don't kill me for that. But
like it matters. He's a millionaire. Like, it's insane for playing Dota. I mean, that's also part of esports, right?
Absolutely.
Pretty cool that that's happening. Now, the Boston Major is up ahead. Happening very, very soon, I believe next week. 16 teams there, 8 qualified, 8 invited teams, and a prize pool of $3 million again. Where does this money come from,
I don't know,
man?
because it's not in, it's definitely not in CS or League of Legends. I'll give you the big tip. So somehow, like, I mean, obviously the crowdfunding, excuse me, and the way the compendium worked for the international is big, but this is massive money being thrown in this game. And it shows they got big viewership as well. I think like other games are looking at Dota very jealously, wondering when they're going to get to that point. But what a way to fuel competition than like a prize pool like that.
Absolutely. I mean, Dota is also very interesting in the fact that, I mean, sure, there's also Dota every day, right? If you take Twitch, for example, with all those streams. But Dota, one of those games that peaks with its majors like insanely high and then doesn't really have too much going on like a daily basis in comparison to other games, for example. So that's something that I find very interesting. Don't know really why that is, but I mean, the majors go insane.
Yeah, it's a different model, I think, as well. I don't know which one I prefer, to be honest. I think, excuse me, a lot of the players probably, the attraction factor of that prize pool is probably enough for them as well. I like having regular esports content to watch, though, I suppose, so it's a different thing. I mean, you see in Counter-Strike now, though, that you see the downside of that. Players like Virtus Pro was so wrecked from traveling that they didn't go to Oakland and play at IEM because schedule was so messed up between E-League and all the other stuff going on, they couldn't go. So maybe Dota players, that's probably a good thing for them. They don't have to travel nearly as frequently as a lot of these CS guys do with the saturation of tournaments.
It's pretty crazy. I mean, so much, the oversaturation people have been talking about, right? Especially in CS, of course, happening. IEM Oakland that you just talked about actually happening right now.
It is,
this
as we
weekend.
speak.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in detail and all the results next week on this show, which is always Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern. So don't miss that. Definitely going to check that out as well. So Dota, yes, being streamed, of course, every Sunday by a nice guy called Dragondrop. I think is what it is. Dragondrop, okay. And he's a German, I think, right?
Yes, he is German. Obviously about my age as well. He's an Overwatch player as well, so I appreciate that one. But he's been around for a couple of years, to my understanding, and a bit of an up and comer. I think. Like I see a lot of his content on sort of on Twitter and stuff, and a bit of his casting, and he's getting in on the right level. You know what I mean? Like the stuff he's getting involved in right now, especially a lot of the Go For stuff, is really really great way to start, even as a caster as much as a player. So I hope to see more of him.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, up and comer, also in the sense that he is pretty much casting every Sunday, right? Like every single Go For tournament, take all the content
Sunday.
you can get. Any Sunday. Nice. Can you do parts of the speech by any chance?
No, I honestly no. It's just that buzzword that I know. So sorry to I'm not a buff in that regard. You know what I mean?
Not that good at the quotes.
No, not a movie buff by any stretch of imagination.
No impressions either.
Not really.
Can you do a Jason impression?
A Jason impression.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Wait. I don't have nothing to make. Oh my God, man! I'm so good at Overwatch.
80K to 3K last week,
baby
Ray.
But I got 600 rating back in 2 days. That's as good as he gets for me.
That's not bad, It's not half bad.
I love the guy as well. I'm just taking the piss, but yeah, he's sometimes when he gets excited, and when he gets exciting when he casts as well, it's like the accent comes through very strong. It's like, I haven't heard this Jason for a while. So
this Jason,
that's the best side for you.
All right, back to Dragondrop.
Right.
So he casts all these Go For Cups every Sunday, just like this one that's going on right now. So we're actually going to jump into the match that is happening right now and check out his casting. Enjoy.
Take that over. Boxy coming out of middle lane, getting the kill first, and now walking away as another TP is forced out cold. With a haste rune, though, it's something more up. Imprisonment into Ice Path, there it is. 3B on support Shadow Demon. Still alright there for EC, unless they lose something more. Buch. Well, being tracked down, another imprisonment. Cole still under the help of the haste rune. That'll be a secondary support kill. Coming their way. That helps him catch up quite a bit here. If you look at your net worth, actually, Juggernaut is the one ahead by a couple of hundred gold here compared to his mid lane opponent. And he's definitely shown what he can do here. Face boots, Jugger, pretty damn scary if you can get on top of somebody. 4 points up in the Blade Fury, and Yom Slash doing some work, but all of that up top was just the ruse of the side of 8,000 here. They bought enough space for the Ursa to finish up the first Shan here on top of the Mask of Madness, so he's still getting what he needs to do, now climbing the top net worth slot. Kira also making a way down here means that this tower will take some damage unless they respond to it. It's still only to be the Scarab Mage. Just be careful at this point, right? A single Ice Path or something. So I should be able to get in range here with extra movement speed of the phase and the Mask of Madness. Still gonna try. Ice Path not connecting though. Still scary enough to ensure the tower kill. No further rotations coming in. See. Still want to say they can afford this here. Still need a little bit more time. Boxy might be going for the blink dagger here that I was mentioning earlier, saving up a lot of money. Up top, Nox also looking for the armlet, which is on the way now, so that's a really good timing to it as well. Actually, is that he already has a blink. Okay, he finds it on the goal as well. Mass TPs come through though. X still chasing or running away at this point as yeah, should be tracked down. Ice Path at the ready. 4 heroes around him in total. Yeah. Link reveal not quite working out the way that he intended it to. Normally you want to get that free kill on the back of that as it stands. He ended up being the free kill himself. Slender tipping out. Stux have enough damage here? May almost. Oh man. There was some raindrop gaming right there. If Slender didn't have that, would have probably died to the infest damage. Stands, makes his way out. And a bit of a weakness here for EC's draft. They can technically take a fight. Just bombed Blink and Axe now. Juggernaut being as strong as he is, but right now they're not really in a position to 8,000, doing a really good job taking advantage of that. Throwing down a Macropie to clear these creep waves. Liquid fire on the towers. And
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
not quite in night range just yet, so just gonna save it for later. Bull picks up another rune at DD as well. It's just getting so lucky with these. Alright. Then as well, right? He's the one getting some space. Doing a really good job just dividing up the resources on the map. Put it down up to 1700 gold, almost 1800 after this camp. Tower also going down will help. There'll be his Blink Dagger before long, and this can be very, very scary. Blink Dagger for him, Blink Dagger for Ursa here whenever he wants it. What I was talking about, right? Just go crazy. Snowball with the Ursa. Go to side shot, pick that up now, and this rotation a little bit too late. Not even smoked up, but still unspotted, so there's no vision out side of 8,000. And going in now, Boxy will find Slander. This could be a quick omni-slash kill. Just goes for a spin instead. Slander can just try and walk away. Turns around for the... Oh god, there it is. The blink. But the silence comes out. A lot of extra heroes on the side of the EC. Gonna take that Aegis away immediately. Slander and the blink dagger just dead, so he can't really come in quickly to help. So Hellas and Cole also making an appearance. Makes for EC a little bit more dangerous to keep going. Buchner caught in the wrong spot. The crush will miss. Sure what that was bad, but DD still going. He's still taking a ridiculous amount of damage here. Axe on the other side was being isolated from the rest of his team, trying to survive. But he should end up falling as well with the hammer. Another crush being missed thanks to the slow. He's making the work for it here, I'm gonna give him that. One last Ice Path. One more right click. Still not enough, but there it is. Still Liquid Fire now. Somewhere else entirely, Shadow Demon. Not sure what he was still doing there, to be quite honest. But he also takes his build, so EC kind of losing cohesion here. They were as 5, and then someone made the call to retreat and was like, here, some people go through there, some people through there. The imprisonment here, Buch also dance around for a little bit instead of just legging it. To lose way too many heroes. Got the Aegis, sure, but It's a really, really early game ages that you don't really care about losing if you can get this amount of gold out of it. 3 kills plus a tower going down. Discord crash. Someone called Hail. Bit unfortunate. But we're right back. Maybe. Maybe not. Yeah, just keeping manners. Should have the other team's also ready before I'm pausing.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
But yeah, tower goes down. If you look at the graph now, yeah, it's just spiking upwards toward the rating 4 to 5k once it updates. Experience has been in favor of VC for a long, long time, just considering that they had a jungle axe able to give them that advantage. But now also in favor. Team 8000 now. Smoke rotation towards mid lane. No one is there, dude. Heck, there's another smoke rotation from 8000 here. Gonna stab them on back. I think they scouted that out here with Book sticking to the high ground. Another extra second here, breaking the smoke on the startup. It does have blink there. He can go across. There's no tower to protect him. Yeah. There's no vision. He sees Boxy though. Already has the Fuel Blade, so rush straight for that. Good decision here, considering that they're up against Omni-Knight, but yeah, they're gonna find him instead. Does not get spin off, and now, okay, turnaround actually. Own me and Nox. Was a monster bait right there. So not feeling scary, still having the package to deliver.
Radiant's middle tower
Getting a double call, making sure that
Radiant structures
Ursa and Slaughter can't finish off the target that they want to. Now as quickly as the game turned in favor of 8000s, quickly it's starting to turn around. Just a single double pick off now, another one perhaps. Call still available here to follow up Jakiro, not long for the world. He gets some help from Mr. Hillis, but no Guardian Angel or anything. And now the silence. Not enough here, no more stunts actually cancel that. Now speaking of stunts, there's one on Juggernaut. Still it's the only such available if he can get it off, and he can. Slander, bounce back to Grease, back to Slander, call comes out. Boxy will be able to spin off the amplifier, but still the pure reckless damage is now from the OD. Claiming that kill, Buch at that point is a freebie. Mobility in him, so if you lose the fights, you're pretty much always gonna lose Skyroth. He's in the middle of that. Do want to finish up the Jakiro, but the bigger cost. But again, not a whole lot that Yomner can do at that point, actually. Also went for a good build as it turns out, considering the early Diffusal Blade on Juggernaut. And max Purification, so you still have that heal, that damage available if they go on you. Because to repel, Guardian Angel, all of that is just going to be diffused off on the crucial target, so can't really rely on that too much. At least not as long as the Juggernaut is still alive. Didn't even have to use a chart in the last one, which is also good for him. Keeping that for the important parts. But back and forth here. I promise you guys, a very action-packed game. It's so far has delivered. Slight advantage here for 8000, obviously, with the way that they've been taking down towers, and also with how confident they can feel going for these kind of aggressive plays. Mac doesn't want to work so Omni-Knight, still reasonably far away. 850 gold, so. Now we see, well, they're matching fire with fire right now. Axe once again with a passenger, and there's the smoke coming through. Once again, what's the top lane where there's less heroes to deal with? It could be a good pick off here if they find the Ursa, but yeah. Seeing no one on the map whatsoever, and also a nice little scan actually. That was a Radiant scan scouting out that rotation, so good map awareness there from the team of 8000, the Ursa, keeping him safe. And ultimately this all translates into a waste of time here. The rest of the Radiant was farming up the jungle. Still right now they're smoked up. Lifestealers left the axe here just to farm. It's always the one thing that you have to look at if you have a lifestealer on your team. How much time do you actually spend invested in somebody waiting for a gank to happen? Which may or may not happen, right? I mean, because all of the time is time that you're not farming. So the opportunity cost actually starts mounting up quite a bit. There's a blink forward here to Jakiro. Slander's also there with the counter initiation. Don't think they want to make a fight out of this. Just gonna try to slow them down to get themselves out. But actually another blink call available now in a second. Now the Omni Slash onto Creeps and bouncing onto Slander, but not enough bounces left to actually finish him off. But Taunt keeping them in the Scar of Ultimate. At least Jakiro, nice little double crush there. And now Cole to follow up. Boxy drops the hammer. Oh, that's the hammer dropped on top of him, I should say. And he will fall, and next on the list will be Shadow Demon. No way out for him, so 2-for-1 trade. The reinforcement game in favor of Team 8000. Now it's gonna turn us straight into another objective. Roshan ripe for the taking with the Amplify, plus the Ursa chopping away the max level of power now. This is not gonna take long at all. EC, no way to recontest this without two of your heroes. Especially the Juggernaut that they really need to take team fights here, not just for the damage, but also for the Fatal Blade charges, just to make sure that, that you don't have to deal with Guardian Angel or whatnot.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
So yeah, bit of an odd decision here. Made a Bloodlust, just having them too deeply in their grips, and boom, nice little silence here, prevent the crush. And disruption here to keep the Ursa away. It does have Aegis now. He slowed down by the Purge, but ultimately ends up being wasted. But yeah, maybe a bit too crazy for Boxy to go for that kind of Omni Slash monster creeps. This time, not sure what he was thinking there, but it was ultimately was too greedy to keep chasing like that with tier 1 still alive. You gotta expect some sort of rotation. Now Boxy, no spin available. But if you love the slow, and now the turnaround here, they're gonna get the Aegis. Can they get more? Or can they get themselves out more to the point? Is Jakiro keeping them in place for a little bit longer? Or start prepping themselves? Slander also just waiting for an opportunity to blink in and crush up a couple of heroes if they decide to go and bunch up on the target. It stands. In first until into the axe again. It's being watched though, so... Sure, that was the best idea. It's gonna time out now, but... 8,000 already. Nowhere near there. I'd find Box instead. Got the bash. Hello, Basher. Spin is not enough to save you anymore. It wasn't the first at bash, but close enough with the overpower, obviously. That should secure them the tier 2. TPs have been cancelled, and I don't know if I can just go straight to the next tier 2. Don't think you need to risk high ground just yet. Still some free money left to be taken. They're thinking the same thing.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
This game is getting out of hand here right now. Top lane Nox. Just trying to farm up. It's not like he's bad farm. It's still sitting very good for this time of the game. You're 22 minutes in, 3k gold in a bank. Echo Saber, Armlet. Now he's being called out, might have to give up some of that money. Actually to counter initiate though. There's a couple of creeps, those are dire creeps. That they're just gonna go for the Rage TP. Probably a better decision, considering that the Ursa was also on the way. Okay. Omni Slash on solo Omni Knight, and you don't get the kill immediately. Meanwhile, down the back, finish up the Jakiro and Axe, finishing the rotation here, finishes out the secondary support, so... No harm, no foul, I guess, but still, it's kind of telling, right? You get that level 2 Omni Slash on a solo Omni Knight, you pretty much diffusal blade off that got an Angel immediately. Now Blink Call again onto 2, good counter initiation again from the Axe, and if they can get this OD, and they will be able to with one last swing. Not that weapon, and now Slander, also not quite out of the wood just yet. Now it is with another Blink. Able to get some damage from slow off. Just it's a bit odd, right? I mean, all that you needed to do on the side of 8,000 after losing both of their supports, especially with the Guardian Angel just being put to waste essentially, just using it solo, you feel played off. I mean, I wouldn't blame him if that meant that his team would just fall back, play defensively for a while until it's back up. Because it's, despite the Refusal Blade on Juggernaut, it's still a very good Deep Ultimate, considering that it's already down to 2 charges. Can still upgrade it, of course, to refresh that. But still, it's fairly a high cooldown these days. 4 seconds in the middle of the fight. Can be an eternity. So if you get your Guardian Angel on everybody, somebody's still gonna be left protected, and that's my point. So it's not that it's a useless ultimate if you use it in fight.
That was the Go For Cup of this Sunday,
So
cast
using
by
that means
Dragondrop
that
for Dota
they
2,
don't want to team fight.
or at least a short impression of
then
that. At
still
least.
Slander and OD
we didn't
get
see
called
too
out
much of it before.
in the
I
middle
haven't
lane on the
watched him
dire
before, but he
side.
seems like a cool guy.
After the support
Yeah, I
picked
mean,
off,
also
which
he's
is
doing the right
bad
thing, getting
position.
involved in
Just
at that
not
level
really
as well.
lining up,
You know,
you know what I mean?
We did a ton of Go For Overwatch Cups, actually, me and
Yeah.
Jason, when we wanted stuff to do. So it's really cool that
Yeah, end result is that he's
that
seeing
you can have this
a bit of an
platform,
extra
I mean,
breeder. Life
that
stealer
sort of
still
runs so
very
many
much life
games.
kick.
be
King,
semi-autonomous
never
as
mind.
well. Like the reality is that we don't like ESL doesn't need like 500 people sort of working on putting everyone in games and stuff like that. So it's quite cool how accessible it is, I guess, in general.
Yeah.
You know, but we casted a lot of Go For Overwatch just to get our practice and keep sharp. So there's still plenty of teams, like teams that are going to be at DreamHack actually through the BYOC competition, like Penta, Mouse Sports, and LDLC, all cut their teeth there as well, and they play a lot of Go For Overwatch. So
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, most of the teams obviously participating in these Go For Cups for Dota, for example, are professional or semi-professional teams. But a lot of them just started out as friends, kind of playing at home.
Yes.
They kind of saw this going on, and ESL playing. We're like, hey, we can make like a small buck on this.
right.
Oh wait, it's $300 or $500. This is actually worth it.
Exactly.
So just signed up, as you can do, by the way, every Sunday at 2 p.m. You can get those sweet monies, all that moolah.
I mean,
you can sign up.
solid segue, but that's where like so many of, especially Overwatch now I talk about, and I'm sure it's the same case for Dota as well. It's where a lot of teams have gone from being casual teams, that didn't even maybe get invited to the takeover, for example, at that level, and now are, playing at quite a high level. So for me, it's just so interesting because I get asked all the time by people, how do I get into esports? How do I make it into a serious team? How do I start making money? How do I make this my job? And I'm like, there's always a transition process. Like me, I was working in like the liquor industry, then pharmacy, then hosting random events, then casting World of Tanks, and now I'm here, right? So it's the same for any player. It's a transition process where you don't go from woe to go. You need to sort of take stepping stones, and the Go Fours are super accessible for everyone, give an incentive to play, and they're well orchestrated, and it's very easy to understand who you're playing next or how to get into matches, stuff like that. So, I mean, that for me is why we wanted to cast it as well, because we had such a good mix of up-and-comers and teams that, pro teams that still value the experience that the Go For offered as well. I did a ton of Go For. I was like, that was me and Lee and me and Jason's bread and butter for casting League of Legends as well. So, really, I have a lot of fond memories from Go For tournaments.
From all the good Go For tournaments. I'm sure a lot of players actually have some good memories as well from that. So yeah, as I just said, every Sunday, 2 p.m., go ahead, sign up. Free money if you're good at the game, or just have some fun and try it out. Other than that, Boston Major happening next weekend, of course. Be sure to check that out for Dota 2. And there's always another IAM, or ESL 1 rather, around the corner for Dota as well.
Yeah, I mean, I was at the Frankfurt one last year. I just went there as an interested spectator. A lot of fun. Really good. I mean, I love the casters in Dota. They're all really good. But the whole event was sick. So, I mean, with the major coming up, that's going to be rather large. And I'm looking forward to the next ESL 1 Dota as well.
Yeah, going to be awesome for sure. That's going to do it for tonight's show, actually. Was great. Having all you here. Was great having you, Mitch, on the show. Thanks for coming out, buddy.
My pleasure, absolutely.
It was an absolute pleasure. We actually talked a long time
Like
today.
a lot longer than was planned to, but no one stopped us, so it can't be a bad thing, right?
It was fun. It actually didn't feel that long, so that's always a good sign for that, of course. But that's not going to be it for it overall, of course, because we are going to be back next Sunday, every Sunday actually, at 7 p.m. sharp. So be sure to tune in next week, exactly here on the ESL Twitch channel. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Take care.